Welcome back. Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m., 18 degrees out there on this January 2nd. Happy New Year to all of you. Patrick's up on the roof right now where you're dressed appropriately for the weather up there. I'm very proud of you. Kicking off the new year very responsibly, Patrick.
Yes. It's about time to be responsible when you get into your mid-50s. It took a while. All right, yeah, here it is. It's cold and a few flakes out here, but the story of the day will be cold and quiet weather to end the work week on what has been a very busy week weather-wise, as we all know. It started off with a flood watch, and then then we had a 79-mile-an-hour wind gust. And then, of course, the lake effect snow that really buried parts of western New York, not so much Buffalo, but the southern tier and the south towns. Right now, we're seeing the snow continue for the southern tier. Also, some snow into Orleans County. Looks like it's about to move into Rochester, but you can see that stream of snow coming across the southern shore of Lake Ontario, bringing some snow there. But the heaviest snow has been here in the Boston Hills, heading over towards Springville. All right, a snapshot at 4 o'clock today shows you cloudy skies, mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow morning, another cold one, teens out the door, and then Saturday afternoon, temperatures in the mid-20s. Our next round of snow comes at us Saturday night into Sunday morning, where we could get another inch or two of snow. Temperatures this weekend in the 20s both days, but we do begin to see a warming trend next week. We'll be in the near 30 on Monday with light snow, near 40 on Tuesday, with a little bit of light rain, especially later Tuesday into Wednesday and perhaps later Thursday into Friday as well. So the second week of January looks to be warming up a bit. Well, it's not. Actually, that's the first full week of January. Anyway, we will have a look at some snowy times this weekend. The Bills game looks ideal with, again, maybe a few flurries. And
you know what's also nice is the kids are wrapping up their winter break. Really good sledding weather and like outside snow stuff for the kids, which will be really great.
Yeah, the first week was muddy. Yeah. They got a little taste of winter the second week. You got it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Patrick, thanks. Come on down, warm up, and we'll see you back here in a few minutes. In the news this morning, take a look at this new video from overnight in Sanborn. Dozens of firefighters responded to the smoky fire at an auto repair shop at around 2 o'clock this morning. It was at the G&M Repair Services on Lockport Road. And earlier this morning, we did learn that everyone who was inside at the time was able to get out safely. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but we will update you as soon as we learn more. Developing now, an investigation is underway into how exactly two people died in a home in Allentown. Our cameras got to the scene on North Pearl Street just before 7 last night, but it had already been cleared. Buffalo police can confirm that they went to a multi-family home and found someone's body, but when they were there, someone asked them to check on another person who hadn't been seen for several days. And that's when police found that person's body in the home as well. Police say that they've already said that neither of these deaths are considered to be suspicious. Buffalo Fire and National Fuel also tested the building and said that there were no risks of gasoline or carbon monoxide exposure. Developing now, Buffalo police are on the hunt for a gunman after shots rang out in broad daylight on the city's east side. A 40-year-old man was shot on East Delavan Avenue just before 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon and then rushed to ECMC. He is expected to survive. Investigators are asking anyone who saw or heard anything to call the number on your screen. Happening today, a Buffalo woman is scheduled to be in court for a deadly crash that happened in South Buffalo on Saturday. Prosecutors say 32-year-old Renaya Cornelius hit and killed an 80-year-old man while he was walking his dog on McKinley Parkway and Lorraine Avenue. Investigators say Cornelius was driving under the influence with her 2 children in the car at the time. She faces charges of vehicular manslaughter and aggravated DWI, and she could face up to 7 years in prison if she's convicted. And a Buffalo man will be in court for a felony hearing for a different deadly crash today. Investigators say on Saturday, 31-year-old James Clark was driving drunk when he hit a woman in the crosswalk at Goodrich Street and Ellicott Street in Buffalo. That's right near the city's medical campus. The 45-year-old victim died in the hospital. Clark's being held on $200,000 bail and could face up to 7 years in prison if he's convicted. Well, this is a live look at City Hall right now, where Mayor Sean Ryan is beginning his first full day in office this morning. Just yesterday on New Year's Day, he took the oath of office, and Daybreak's Natalie Foss is joining us live from City Hall this morning, where things are really getting underway today. And Natalie, what are some of the Mayor Ryan's top priorities as he hits the ground running today?
Well, Melissa, yesterday Mayor Ryan spoke in length with the media after his inauguration, and some of the things that he hit on were the city budget, as well as leadership in City Hall, and making sure that City Hall and everyone in it knows what his priorities are moving forward and his vision is for the city of Buffalo. Just a few days ago, Mayor Ryan's team announced that there would be 4 deputy mayors. Historically, mayors have only chosen 1 or 2. Now, this is something that Ryan told us will not cost any extra money, and he said it was important for him to have a diverse team of people behind him as he moved forward into City Hall. Yesterday, we asked the mayor about the budget as well, and he said that his team has reached out to the state comptroller's office to get a better idea of the state of the city of Buffalo's finances. He said that since he is inheriting a budget that will be in place until May, he wants to get a handle on the finances in order to move forward with a new budget when the time comes.
So as we're tackling that and running that to the ground, we're going to be looking at creating our own budget for the 26-27 fiscal year. But that budget is going to be an honest budget. It's going to accurately reflect our revenues coming in. It's going to accurately reflect our expenses. That's what you call a structurally balanced budget, and that's what I'm going to be delivering.
The mayor also spoke about transparency, specifically in response to questions about the Buffalo Police Department's response to the crash involving DJ Granville. And he said that he and his team will be taking a closer look at it, but the public deserves to know what happened. And during his speech after his inauguration, Mayor Ryan spoke a lot about working together. He is really looking forward to working together with the Buffalo Common Council, engaging in some healthy debate so that they can make decisions that are right for the people here in the city of Buffalo. He also talked a lot about the importance of neighborhoods. He was really pounding that in, that he wants to work with leaders of neighborhoods, he wants to work with faith leaders and really be a part of the community so that when he's making decisions, he feels that they are best for the people here in the city of Buffalo. Live and on your side at City Hall, Natalie Foss, Channel 2 News.
Yeah, saying the right things, hoping he follows through. All right, Natalie, thank you for that report. Well, now that we are into the new year, some political changes are coming to not just Buffalo, but to some suburban municipalities as well. This past election season marked a huge turning point for Democrats in suburban communities. 2 on your side's Ron Plant spoke with political analysts for their insight.
Despite some hotly contested political races, those inner ring, most populated suburbs of Amherst, Cheektowaga, and Tonawanda are now really in the hands of Democratic officials. In some cases, like Cheektowaga, they flipped town boards that had Republican majorities.
Republicans didn't turn out in the same numbers that they would prefer to get people out. And so more Democrats energized, fewer Republicans turning out, and the results are the results that we've seen.
And if you think about it, you've got the city of Buffalo, which is all Democrat, and now you've got the 3 major first-ring suburbs. When you add all that up, it comes to, it comes about 2/3 of the entire county population will not have one Republican representing voters of that persuasion.
In the northern Twin Cities, the Tonawandas, there were also changes as Democrats turned the tide.
In the city of Tonawanda, Democrat won mayor's office and all 4 council seats. In the city of North Tonawanda, Mayor Pilot was reelected by an overwhelming majority, and he brought 4 Democrats onto the city council for the first time.
Republicans could celebrate some victories in towns like Lancaster, Orchard Park, or Hamburg, with perhaps future political fortunes.
Elected some new people. So you've got some new supervisors coming in, and the supervisors are kind of your bench in county politics. When the party is looking for candidates for county legislative seats, or maybe even county executive, looking down the road, that's one of the places you're going to look.
On your side, Ron Plants, Channel 2 News.
Well, in New York City, Zohran Mamdani has been sworn in as the 112th mayor. Yesterday afternoon, U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders administered the oath of office during a symbolic ceremony outside New York City Hall. This is symbolic because Mamdani actually took the oath of office officially shortly after midnight in a ceremony there where Attorney General Letitia James administered the oath. Now, during yesterday's ceremony, Mamdani was sworn in with his hand on his grandfather's Quran, which was a first for New York City.
I stand alongside over 1 million New Yorkers who voted for this day nearly 2 months ago. And I stand just as resolutely alongside those who did not. In writing this address, I have been told that this is the occasion to reset expectations, that I should use this opportunity to encourage the people of New York to ask for little and expect even less. I will do no such thing.
The dark horse candidate shocked many when he won the Democratic primary last summer. He ran on promises of creating a universal child care program, freezing rent for 2 million tenants, and making city buses fast and free. Well, a new year and a new chance at a forever home. The SPCA serving Erie County is kicking off 2026 with a feel-good adoption special. Starting today, you can adopt any animal 1 year old or older for just $25. And take a look at this sweet face. This is Lola. She is searching for her forever family. The SPCA says Lola is a happy, social girl who loves long walks, is easy to train, and lives for human attention. And it's the kind of companion who just wants to be by your side, they say. So when you adopt Lola or any other eligible pet, the fee will include a veterinary exam, spay or neuter surgery, vaccines, and other essentials to help make sure that that transition from shelter to home is a smooth one. This New Year's adoption special runs through the end of January. And stay with us. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about some of your favorite memories from Highmark Stadium, as this Sunday's game is likely the last one there. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Patrick, we're on TV. It's almost time to say goodbye to Highmark Stadium because in all likelihood, Sunday's game will be the last game at Highmark Stadium. And we now know who's going to be leading the final charge before the game. This is a person who says, where else would you rather be than right here, right now, and then leading the AAA part? Okay, Bills Hall of Famers Thurman Thomas and Steve Tasker have been named this week's Legends of the Game. They say it is a huge honor to fire up Bills Mafia one last time before the team begins a new chapter in the stadium. And other legends, of course, Jim Kelly and Andre Reed will also be joining in the celebration. As we say goodbye, some Bills legends have shared their favorite memories from inside the iconic stadium, and among them, quarterback Doug Flutie.
It was the #1 home field advantage of any field I played on. Let me put it that way. There's no doubt. Crowd noise, wind conditions, snow conditions, all that. And like I said, part of that like they say, Bills weather or whatever, but part of it was that the fans embraced that weather. They embraced those conditions. I always felt when we had nasty conditions in Buffalo, we had an advantage.
And the Buffalo, so we've been asking you all morning to tell us what your favorite memories were from inside the stadium. You said yours was, Patrick, the snow game. Yeah, and everyone knows what the snow game is.
Yeah, 2017, took my son and daughter, they were 11 and 9 at the time. And it was like their first game, so they thought this is what happens, right?
Yeah.
So that was pretty.
That was the Colts game.
That was the Colts game, the one where you walked in through the tunnel and you're like, oh my, there's no way they can play a game with this, right?
What an what an amazing game. And everyone will remember just how much snow came down in that game.
Oh, I think it was like 9 or 10 inches just during the game. It was crazy.
Yeah. For me, I mean, taking Elliot to his first game was definitely a special one, but I never got to go to games when I was a kid. We didn't have money to buy tickets to a Bills game. So my first game was in 2011. I was in my 20s, and it was the Bills Patriots. It was September 25th, 2011, and it was Ryan Fitzpatrick and Tom Brady. The Bills were down 21-0 at one point, and then they came back to win. It was unbelievable. Last second field goal. It was 31-31 with 3 seconds left, and the Bills won with the last second field goal. That place was insane. Just the spirit and the energy inside this stadium.
I loved it after not just that snow game, but I went to the Pittsburgh Steelers playoff game 2 years ago. And whenever the Bills scored, all the snowballs that got launched in the air, you just started laughing because you're like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
It's just like everybody. I mean,
and I think one of the memories that I'll take from this, it's not one in particular, but you heard about not being able to bring kids to games.
Oh, right.
Because of the atmosphere and how nasty it was. I never had that experience with taking Elliot to games. Everyone was so friendly and high-fiving. And yes, language is language. It's not like he doesn't hear it at the house anyway.
Right.
But it's all been a wonderful experience. I never went to a game with him and said, that was a terrible environment to bring a kid to. So that might be more recent that the games that people are well behaved, but it's also because the Bills are winning. The Bills are a good team now. I think during the drought, it was always very negative going there. And so I just take that. I will think about the times of taking my son to these games and having him grow up loving the Bills and loving that environment. So I asked you this morning on Instagram and X and on Facebook what your favorite memories are. And I want to take a few minutes to read some of these. John says, after a 10-year, 20-game losing streak, the Bills finally beat the Dolphins at the stadium on the first game of the 1980 season. And the fans tore down the goalposts.
And then they carried him like down the street or something, right? Like,
I don't know. I wasn't born yet.
I've heard stories about this.
But yeah, so that is very, very cool. Bo says, Bills versus Dolphins playoff game 1991 when the Bills won 44-34. Bills fans chanting Super Bowl, Super Bowl. Paul says there are so many memories, but my favorite was attending the first home playoff game since the drought. My wife and I cried when we got tickets.
What game was that? That was the first home
playoff game.
So that was in the 2020 season.
All the Things Daily on Instagram says the goalpost coming down. Somebody named FishOn716 said the Grateful Dead shows in 1990 and 1991.
Yes. I'm glad we brought up music because there's a lot of history in music.
Sure.
And, but some of the videos that I've seen of the Grateful Dead shows of those 2 years are amazing. And they really turned it on, the band, when they played here. And some of their most, I think the Orchard Park concerts in the Grateful Dead lore are high.
Yeah.
People remember those shows.
Right, and like Mick Jagger was here not so long ago and put on such a show, and U2, and some really great performances.
Yeah.
And then let me just read a few more from Facebook right now. A lot of people are talking about the 51-3 Raiders at Bills AFC Championship game. Then Oilers at Bills, the greatest comeback. This person, Dan Herberly, says taking my daughter to her first game. Andrea Carr-Mosher says best one I personally experienced there was last year against the 49ers. Amari Cooper to Josh Allen, lake effect lateral.
Lake effect lateral, I love that.
Paige Mary Doucette says the COVID Ravens playoff game where Teron Johnson picked the ball off in the end zone and ran it all the way back for a touchdown for only 6,700 fans.
And apparently it sounded like a full stadium.
That's what she said. The stadium roared.
Yeah.
Dave Evans says seeing Guns N' Roses. A friend got us free tickets. Best stadium concert ever. The Justin Jefferson reception made against the Bills in the Vikings game was the greatest play ever made in the Bills stadium, according to Steve. Greatest comeback game. This one says my first concert ever. My mom took me on a bus trip from Erie, Pennsylvania. Now I'm sorry, reading this now. What was it? The Jackson Victory Tour?
Yeah, Jackson. The family tour.
1984.
84, right.
Okay.
With Michael.
Okay. Sorry, I'm having fun going through this all right now. Ron, CLC 51-3 AFC Championship game on the way to their first Super Bowl, taking down the goalpost. So all of these memories, I could go on and on and on. Thank you so much for going on our socials, posting these. Continue to do that on our Channel 2 app because we'll be sharing them as we go along. But yeah. Looks like Sunday's going to be the last one, and weather-wise,
looks good. Good. It's going to be cold.
Because last game I was there with the rain, and then the loss against the Eagles. Ugh.
And it didn't. I know there was like a 15-minute lull of no rain, but then it just came right back. watching from home, I was thinking of you being in there.
Yeah.
And just like, I mean, what do you do? If you're wearing cotton, you're hosed. Like if you wear jeans, right? A lot of people wore jeans, or they didn't.
They should have known better.
Right.
Jeans are
the worst
thing that you could possibly wear in a cold, rainy game.
A lot of people, because maybe they didn't think too much of the rain, but it was. It was a soaker. And
you just want the team to win in their final game at Highmark Stadium, too. I mean, there should not be a problem, knock on wood, against the Jets. But are the starters going to start?
Right. Or think about this. The fact that the game really doesn't mean anything is that, you don't want the Bills' season to come to an end at the last game of the season, right? Imagine, you know what I'm saying? It's
they will be playing in the playoffs.
Right, but I'm saying if this game meant something, and it was like, when you're in, lose, you're out, type of thing.
Yeah.
And if they lost on the final game, so maybe it's better that, okay,
you can just breathe.
We can relax. We know that they're going to the playoffs. Hopefully Cook is able to achieve or maintain his rushing title, give Josh Allen the consecutive starts, but then, sit him down. Because he hasn't practiced all week. He's got this foot thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
For all of those who are going, enjoy this experience.
Enjoy
and it's just hard to believe that next season it will be a brand new stadium, which looks phenomenal.
Yeah, it looks done. Except for
that hole in the wall where there was a fire.
The what?
There was the fire.
Oh.
And so when you're driving through, one of the panels is completely gone because there was a fire inside the new Highmark Stadium.
Missed that. When do they bring in the big buffalo, though? Remember that they have those giant buffalo that is going to be there?
And the rendering show, yes.
Right.
There's so much to happen at the new stadium, but it's fun to watch it all develop and be built from the ground up.
Is this a big buffalo?
It's a T-Rex.
No, that's this.
Right. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll tell you about two hockey players with local connections who we just found out this morning are going to be representing Team USA in the Olympics. Stick around for that. All right, bringing breaking sports news this morning. The countdown to Milan is on, and this morning the Today Show revealed the men's, women's, and Paralympic U.S. Olympic hockey rosters, and it has been announced, as we kind of expected, Sabres forward Tage Thompson is officially part of the men's Team USA, and Gettsville native and Olympic silver medalist Haley Skimura is on the women's team. Yes, Skimura went to Nichols School in Buffalo. She graduated in 2013. She went to the last Winter Olympics where the women's team won the silver medal. So she's an Olympic silver medalist and hoping to go for the gold this year. But for Tage, this has been a long time coming. He was in the IIHF World Championships from earlier this year, and he represented Team USA there, helped them beat Switzerland by scoring the game-winning goal.
No
this
way.
is, that was an incredible game, and Tage really
kind of skating the guy's face.
Well, that's Tage there, 72, and so he almost got hit in the face, but really made an impression there, and so it'll be fun to watch him in the Olympics this year.
Awesome.
And he just scored 2 goals against the Dallas Stars with the Sabres on New Year's Eve.
And their next game is tomorrow?
Tomorrow at 3 o'clock. This weekend is a big sports weekend. All 3 of our teams are playing.
Right.
So the Sabres play tomorrow on the road against the Blue Jackets, going for 11 in a row, which would be the new franchise record for the Sabres. So they play at 3 o'clock tomorrow. And then the Bandits play at home tomorrow.
10 in a row, right?
No.
If they
tied the franchise record at 10.
They're at 10 right now?
Yeah.
I thought it was 9. Okay.
And so then it will be 11 if they win tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Bandits play at home tomorrow night. And then, of course, the Bills game on Sunday. And it's just going to be a busy weekend, too. A lot of people putting away their Christmas decorations, others wanting to go out skiing. Ski country is going to be great. I'm going to be in Ellicottville tonight. If anyone sees me, say hi. I won't be skiing.
Will we know before kickoff who we would play in the playoffs if we win the Jets game?
That is not a question to be asking me.
I think because we're later on Sunday.
425, yeah.
So I'm wondering if we know if it'll be New England or Jacksonville or Denver.
And the NFL really figures out the flexing to make sure that the teams do know or don't know.
Right.
And that they're on like a level playing field of what they're playing for.
Which is smart because, you don't want to. They want to not have everything laid out for them before the game is actually played. So that's smart. So I have a feeling we would know. Maybe. Anyway.
There will be a lot to talk about on Daybreak on Monday when we've got the whole team back together. Pete will be here, you and I, and we'll probably have Vic Carucci, I'm hoping, to talk about the final Bills game at Highmark Stadium and also to what to look forward to for the playoffs. And so we'll have a lot of that coming up on Daybreak on Monday. But thanks for joining us today, everybody. Happy New Year once again. And I think that's it. Any final thoughts?
That's it.
Okay.
Enjoy. It's the weekend. I keep thinking today's Monday. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
Nice.
It's our Monday and Friday. It's kind of great.
Lovely.
Bye, everybody.
Nice.